Commander Voss doesn't salute anyone below flag rank, the Master Chief said, his weathered face pale as chalk. But there he was, 6'3" of legendary SEAL leadership, standing at rigid attention before a petite gate guard who looked barely old enough to vote. What could possibly make America's most decorated special operations officer abandon 20 years of protocol? Lieutenant Junior Grade Maya Torres had been at Naval Base Coronado for exactly 47 minutes when her entire career nearly ended. The morning sun hadn't yet burned off the coastal fog, and she stood at Gate 3, clipboard in hand, checking IDs with the enthusiasm of someone who just discovered her Ivy League degree and 4 years at Annapolis qualified her to ask people if they had their parking pass. "This is temporary," her detailer had promised. "Just until your security clearance updates." Temporary. Right. In Navy speak that could mean anything from 3 days to 3 years. A black SUV rolled up to her gate, and Maya straightened reflexively. Through the tinted windshield she could make out multiple passengers, all in uniform. Officers from the look of it. She stepped forward with her scanner, professional smile in place. The driver's window descended. "Good morning, ma'am. IDs please." The driver, a square-jawed lieutenant with a trident pin, handed over 4 military IDs without a word. His eyes held something Maya couldn't quite place. Not disrespect. Something closer to a pity? She scanned them efficiently. 3 commanders, 1 captain. The names meant nothing to her yet, she'd only graduated from the academy 3 months ago. But the trident pins told her everything she needed to know. SEALs. The elite of the elite. "Thank you, sirs. You're cleared for Lieutenant Torres." The voice came from the back seat. Controlled. The kind of voice that had ordered men into hell and brought them back out. Maya's training kicked in. Never show confusion. Never show weakness. "Yes, sir?" The rear door opened and a man unfolded himself from the vehicle. Commander Jackson Voss. She didn't know his name yet, but she knew his type, the kind of officer who commanded respect by existing. Silver eagles gleamed at his collar. His uniform was immaculate. His face could have been carved from granite. And he was saluting her. Maya's mind went blank. Then into overdrive. Was this a test? Some kind of hazing ritual for new officers? She'd heard SEALs had their own culture, their own rules. Maybe this was... "Sir, there's no need to," she began. "Permission to speak freely, Lieutenant?" His hand remained locked at his brow. Maya glanced at the growing line of vehicles behind the SUV. Her radio crackled with her supervisor asking for a status update. Every instinct screamed that something was catastrophically wrong. "Granted," she managed. "Your father was Senior Chief Marcus Torres. DevGru. 3rd Platoon." The world tilted. Maya hadn't heard her father's rank spoken aloud in 7 years. Not since the helicopter went down over the Hindu Kush. Not since she was 15 and 2 officers appeared at her door with folded flags and empty condolences. "I served under your father for 3 years, Voss continued, his salute unwavering. "He was the finest chief petty officer I ever had the privilege to know. He saved my life twice and I never got to tell him thank you. So I'm telling you." Maya's clipboard slipped from her fingers. She caught it before it hit the ground, muscle memory saving her from complete mortification. Behind Voss, the other officers had exited the vehicle. All of them, 3 commanders and a captain, stood at attention. "Sir, this isn't." Words failed her. Her father had been DevGru? The Naval Special Warfare Development Group? The unit so classified most people still called it by its old name, SEAL Team 6? Her father had told her he was a maintenance chief, that he fixed helicopters, that his deployments were routine. The lie suddenly made sense. The secrecy. The way he'd sometimes wake up screaming and pretend it was nothing. The reason her mother had looked so haunted every time he left. "He never told me," Maya whispered. "He couldn't," Voss said. "But he talked about you. Showed everyone pictures. Said his daughter was going to be an admiral someday." His granite expression cracked just slightly. "He'd be proud as hell to see you wearing those bars, Lieutenant. Even if you're stuck at a gate that doesn't deserve you." The radio crackled again. "Torres, what's your status?" "You're backing up traffic." Maya grabbed for the radio, but Voss held up a hand. "Let me," he said, then keyed his own radio. "This is Commander Voss. Lieutenant Torres is conducting a proper security inspection of my vehicle. Any issues can be directed to my office." The radio went silent. Maya finally remembered to return the salute. Her hand shook as she brought it to her brow. "Thank you, sir." "No." Voss's eyes, hard and blue and carrying the weight of 1,000 missions, softened for just a moment. Thank you. Your father volunteered for the mission that got him killed because I needed someone I could trust. He knew it was dangerous. He went anyway. The least I can do is make sure his daughter gets the career she deserves. Sir, I don't expect any. Did you apply for the Naval Intelligence Program? Maya blinked at the subject change. I did. Months ago. Haven't heard back. You will. Voss nodded to the other officers. Captain Reeves here runs the Pacific Intelligence Division. Turns out your father saved his life in Kandahar. Funny coincidence. Captain Reeves stepped forward. His hair was silver at the temples, and he wore a chest full of ribbons that told a story of decades in service. Your application was flagged, Reeves said. Someone in personnel thought you were trying to use family connections to get special treatment. They buried it. But I didn't have any family connections. My father was a maintenance. Maya stopped. Oh. Your father's service record is still classified, Reeves continued. Will be for another 20 years. But people who served with him? We remember. We talk. And when we heard Marcus Torres's daughter was stuck at a gate because some paper pusher decided she was trying to game the system. His smile was predatory. Let's just say your security clearance is going to update. Very soon. Maya felt like she was drowning. I don't understand. Why are you all doing this? Because your father did the job when no one else would, Voss said simply. Because he trained half the chiefs currently serving in DevGru. Because he believed in doing what's right even when it's hard. And because... He paused, and for a moment, the legendary commander looked almost uncomfortable. Because I made him a promise the night before that last mission. I promised him that if anything happened, I'd make sure his family was taken care of. And I don't break promises to fallen brothers. The fog had started to burn off, sunlight breaking through in golden shafts. Maya stood there, in her gate guard uniform that suddenly felt too small, too insignificant, looking at officers who could end her career with a word or launch it with a recommendation. What if I'm not good enough? The question escaped before she could stop it. Your father asked me the same thing, Voss said. Before his first op with us. You want to know what I told him? Maya nodded, not trusting her voice. I told him that good enough is for people who don't understand what's at stake. We don't need good enough. We need people who'll do the impossible and make it look easy. People who'll stand at gates checking IDs with the same intensity they'd bring to a crisis situation. People who care about getting it right even when no one's watching. He gestured at her clipboard. You've checked my ID 3 times since we started talking. Didn't even realize you were doing it, did you? Maya looked down. He was right. Her hand had kept scanning while her mind was reeling. Detail-oriented. Mission-focused. Composed under unexpected stress. Voss smiled for the first time, and it transformed his face from granite to something almost human. Yeah, you're Marcus Torres's daughter, all right. A horn honked from the line of cars. Reality crashed back. I need to let you through, Maya said. And probably explain to my supervisor why I took 10 minutes on one vehicle. Already handled. Voss climbed back into the SUV but paused before closing the door. Oh, and Lieutenant? Check your email tonight. You're going to receive new orders. I suggest you pack for Virginia. Intelligence school starts in 2 weeks. But my security clearance will be updated by tomorrow morning. Funny how fast bureaucracy moves when the right people ask the right questions. He gave her one more nod. Your father would be proud, Torres. Make him prouder. The SUV pulled away, leaving Maya standing in a fog that had nothing to do with the weather. Her radio crackled. Torres, report to the office. Now. Maya touched the gate post, the cool metal grounding her. 7 years. 7 years of thinking her father was just another maintenance chief who died in a routine accident. 7 years of carrying a grief that never quite made sense because the pieces never quite fit. And now, in the span of 10 minutes, everything had changed. She looked down at the trident pin one of the officers had left on her scanner. No note. Just the pin, its eagle and anchor and trident gleaming in the morning sun. Her radio crackled again. Torres. On my way, she replied, pocketing the pin. As she walked toward the office, her phone buzzed. An email notification. She glanced at the preview. Subject. Security clearance updated Lieutenant Torres MJ. Maya stopped walking. Pulled out her phone. Opened the email with shaking hands. Your TS/SCI clearance has been approved. Report to Naval Intelligence School, Virginia Beach, November 14th. Welcome aboard. She looked up at the fog burning away, revealing the perfect California sky. Somewhere in that sky, 7 years ago, A helicopter had gone down carrying a man everyone thought was just a maintenance chief. A man who'd been so much more. A man whose last mission had been a sacrifice that still echoed through the teams. "I'll make you proud, Dad," Maya whispered. Behind her, at Gate 3, another car pulled up. The new guard, the one being called to replace her, looked overwhelmed already. Maya smiled. Everyone started somewhere. Even the daughter of a legend. Even someone who just discovered she'd been living next to a ghost story her entire life. She turned toward the office, toward her new orders, toward the career her father had dreamed for her but never got to see. Commander Voss had been right about one thing. Maya Torres was going to make it look easy. Even when it was impossible.